All right. Hi there, everyone. Welcome to the IAEM Region 9 podcast. We're here to have our region talk and welcome you to our last podcast of the year for 2023. And we're very excited to um, just introduce myself. I'm new here. I am Jennifer Maradiaga Contreras, and I am the new vice director of public affairs for Region 9. And I'm very excited to be here. It's my first podcast here for the Region Talks. So bear with me. I'm getting adjusted, but I'm really excited to be part of this and just entering this new whole phase. So I'll be introducing a couple of items before we go on forward to our biggest part of the podcast. And so, first of all, I want to start off with the IAEM December Bulletin. The December edition of the bulletin is now online. So you could go ahead and view that through the website. That'll be shared through the comments as well for your access. And we're also going to be there's going to be an IAEM USA happy hour. USA will be hosting a virtual happy hour on Thursday, January 11th, 2024 at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You could join in the IAEM USA leadership. You could ask some questions, provide feedback to the senior leadership, and we'll be providing you with the link. So you could go ahead and register there so you could get all the access, all the websites, all the details of where to go for that virtual happy hour. So get your drink on, any mocktails, so you could have some fun there and chat it up with a couple folks. Next up, we have the IAEM Plugged 2024. And this will be taking place on April 18th through the 19th in 2024. Save the date to experience the 2 days of virtual learning. So that's something to definitely look forward to. In case if you missed the IAEM Plugged 2023, that is still available for a little longer. For anyone that would like to brush up on any training, you can access the 2023 virtual conference, and that's going to be available until April 20th, 2024. So check that out on the comments. You'll be able to see the website there. And that's all for the intro and updates that we have so far. Now, I'm very honored to introduce you to Todd, our Region 9 president. He has a special holiday message to share with you all.
I don't know about the special holiday message, but I definitely have the message. So, first of all, welcome to your first podcast. I'm really excited, and I know you're going to be doing great things. You definitely have some big shoes to fill in there from Isamar, who's been doing a great job over the last year, and I'm looking forward to see what you bring to the table as well. And how do you feel about that?
I'm really excited. Like, this is kind of tapping into a creative side that I'm really excited to have the creative juices flow in and tap into that side of myself.
I tell people all the time, like, for me, podcast is like, in the morning when I do my morning show, it's always like, hey, I'm having a cup of coffee, I'm sitting down with people who I like, talking about a subject that I like. In this case, it's in the evening and you can sit down with a cup of coffee, I guess, and talk about something about the subject that you like, emergency management and what we're doing here at IAEM Region 9. The Christmas episode, we talked a little bit about what we have going on forward here for 2024, but a couple of things I think I'm really stoked about is the opportunity that IAEM members have to participate in our region. And like Jennifer is a great example of someone who she stepped up right away and participated in the symposium, became a critical and key member of that team, and there's so much skills and abilities that we have out here in our region that I think that joining this team and being part and really utilizing your membership to your best benefits and being part of IAEM Region 9 we can grow this region and really be a powerhouse in the world when it comes to emergency management and really pushing the profession forward. And that's what I really look forward to for 2024 is really pushing our profession forward. So what do you think of that, Jennifer?
I like it. I'm excited for it. Let's go 2024.
So I'm gonna flip the tables here for a second. I'm gonna ask you a couple of questions.
Okay.
So what made you decide to get involved in Region 9? Because I mean, you've been around for a little bit, and then you decided to get involved this year, maybe a little bit last year.
So it's kind of twofold. So first, I definitely wanted to explore beyond the LA region and just get in touch with a couple of other emergency managers and whoever more is out in the field and be able to share experiences and also tap into other people's brains and just venture out. And then another reason was Jackie. She was a huge I guess motivator where she's like, hey, she's known me for a while and she sees, I guess, great talents in me and she's like, you should get involved. Like you could do this and that. And I'm like, you know what? I like it. So it's always something to look forward to. I like being involved and this is a great way to really hone in on that professional side and then also tap into the creative side that I like to explore.
And I think that's the best part about it, right? Is it's the professional side of it. You get to resources that you can get, right? Like, hey, I'm looking for a plan or whatever, and somebody might have one, and you can share, right? That's what we do well. We collaborate and share. The other side of it too is it's like building relationships and friendships with people, not just within your small geographical area where you work, but you're also spreading into like Arizona and Nevada and Hawaii and the Pacific Islands that are available, and having that opportunity, I think is really great to see how people do things differently, that you can take from say somebody in Hawaii, for instance, and apply it to your daily work here in Los Angeles County, right? And so I think that's the stuff that's kind of really cool about what we do. One of the things that I really want to focus on, and not necessarily the virtual aspect of it, although those are kind of fun too, but I really want to start doing more in-person mixers and cocktail hours or whatever you want to call it. And the other side of it too is again building that relationship part of it, building the camaraderie between everyone, and so we can do it virtually as well, but also in person. And those are some of the things I like to see happening forward this year. What do you see those things as being a benefit?
Yeah, totally. It's a huge benefit to be able to connect with people in person. I mean, we've done virtual ever since 2020, and it's not to say that it's been a bad thing. It's been a great thing. And the fact that we've been able to socialize and do like virtual happy hour and be able to connect with people in different time zones, that is something unlike any other times. Who would have thought that in 1918 we would have been able to do that?
Right. Yeah. No kidding.
Times that we're living in.
I mean, like, I'm not even sure if phones are working as well than 1918. That's pretty funny.
So
I have one last question for you, right? And just to kind of bring this back around, because the idea here is for like my goal for 2024 is to get more involvement from different people. What would you say to somebody who's like sitting on the fence, whether to either join a committee or get involved in some way within the region?
So I would tell them to, if they're hesitant, to join slowly. You could join a committee, then start getting more involved. And then there's multiple different levels of responsibility. So just depending on your time, your availability, you could be participating through there. So it's always a great way to start off through a committee. That's how you get exposed to the different workings within the committee and how you could expand into either like a caucus. You could go from local to national to even international. So it just depends what you want to do. And if you're in for the ride and want to wave the ride of the wave, you'll get into some interesting experiences, meet so many different people, and it's a great journey.
Absolutely. I do appreciate you stepping up and picking up this role and doing more work here within the region. There are lots of opportunities that are coming up, especially we have the conference committee that's just forming right now for the 2025 Region 9 symposium committee for the 2025 IAEM Region 9 symposium that's going to be held somewhere, not really sure yet, in the state of Arizona. So hopefully it will be a nice crisp fall. No, it's going to be a hot summer day in Arizona. I was being sarcastic about the crisp fall. So hopefully we find a way to stay cool when we're there. I know that my task today is to talk to the membership about some ideas and things like this. And I know I'm getting buzzed to say, hey, Todd, you should be talking to the members about what's going on. So I guess that's a hint that I'm getting from the director. It's like, you touch the ear and you can hear the booth talking to us. I want to, first of all, I said this last episode, but I want to say it again. I really want to thank all of the members from IAEM Region 9, whether you're active or not, whether you're sitting and joining the IAEM just because it's a professional organization that you want to be part of, or if you're really involved. I do think it's something that, as I said before, you get what you get out of this organization. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. I think this is what you really should be looking at for your 2024. As we talk about New Year's resolutions, I think the resolution that we should all be doing is how do we get more involved within the region? And I'll tell you why it's important. When we had issues here in Region 9, specifically the floods in Arizona, well, they're there too, but the floods in Nevada, the fires in Hawaii, the small events that we had, thank God it was small, in 2023 for California. IAM was there. They reached out to the emergency managers from those regions, from those areas, to say, hey, we're here for you. We're here for support. What do you guys need? Whether it was, whether you needed actual support of staff coming in to your region to help out or to your area to help out, or if it was just that emotional support of, hey, the phone's here for us to talk. Because one of the things that we really need to be dealing with here in the future, and well, right now actually, is the mental health of emergency responders and emergency managers across the nation. We still are putting those pebbles in our backpack. And if you've heard me do that, talk about the pebbles in the backpack, it's true, right? We're seeing things and doing things, and the pressures that we felt over COVID and before are real. And another thing that we're doing here at IAM is really creating a place for emergency managers to talk to emergency managers, or talking about the mental health of ourselves, right? And to deal with things in a healthy manner. One other thing that we're creating in IAM USA, and we're going to emulate that and here in IAM Region 9, is a mentorship program, a true mentorship program, not necessarily just for the CEM, which is around. We are doing a mentorship program for new emergency managers that are breaking into the profession, but also for people who want to get, again, more involved. If you see this little pattern that we're going here, more involved with IAM and how we can mentor you into being part of leadership. All of us have taken a turn, or should take a turn, in leading in this organization, whether it's a caucus leadership position, a working group leadership position, being on the board, or running for positions here within IAM. At some point, maybe somebody else would like to step up and be president of Region 9, and I would be happy to talk to you about that if this is a goal that you want to do. We have people that are stepping up and leading in here in our region, doing the symposium for 2025, right? You could get on that board and be part of that organization to really bring good quality conversations and speakers to the fore for the symposium. Again, I stress this over and over, that this is your organization. I hope to be a good steward of your organization. That is my goal. My goal is to keep this organization running forward because it's 71 years old, I guess. And if you think about this, I'm 50, will be turning 54 here shortly, right? Obviously, I wasn't there from the beginning, and this organization's been here way longer than I have been, and I'll stay here after I'm gone. What we need to have is people coming up behind us. And we're seeing parts of the country where they're struggling to get people to lead. And that's, it kind of, it's not a good thing, right? To have the same people in the same positions. When people out there have complaints, which is okay, and talk about this is, the whatever the good old boys club is, get involved, run, be involved. That's how you change, right? You make change for the good, right? We have some great people in this organization that are doing great things, and I think that you should be involved as well. As we come to a close of 2023, I want to remember those that came before us. I want to remember those that from 2019 to to just recently have been really focusing hard on public health and COVID issues. Those that really put the way forward here when it came to in the 1970s, creating FEMA to where it is, and then also creating our state organizations to where they are today. This, although we keep saying we're a newer organization compared to other public safety and emergency response organizations, this profession has been realistically going for many, many years. We could take a look at the stuff that we've done back in the 1800s when it comes into the concepts of emergency management. This is not a new profession necessarily. It's just a new package, if you will, right? And we have great young professionals coming up behind us. Those young professionals are going to be leading us into the future. And I want those of us that can mentor the new professionals that are coming up behind us, right, to make them the best that they can be. For those of us that are old, right, that have been here for a long time, we should be looking at the youth for maybe mentorship on the other side around, right? Like look to them and see how we can do things in new and different ways. How do we embrace technology? How do we embrace the idea of using AI and machine learning and the Internet of Things to make our profession better, right? To make our everything better when it comes to that, right? How do we use pen and pencils as well to keep things going when the Internet of Things breaks down? So we have a blend and a mix of things that are happening. We have the old and the new. It's always that way, coming up and going down, right? We are not stagnant by any means. We're a profession that has volumes of books that are now being written, where just a few years ago, you probably couldn't find an emergency management book, or that's not a textbook on the bookshelf, right? Those that come before us, those that came into the research from social sciences, all right, they did a good job. And we are now picking up that mantle and we're creating a body of work that's emergency management specific. Higher education programs, zero a few years ago. Now we have over 200 or something education programs that are focused on emergency management. They could still be better. We're losing some of those, some of the good ones, right? That were the baseline of what we were doing. So we need to, as a profession, support those higher education programs as well. We look at our profession some days as an other than. And I know on my emergency management network, I wrote a funny piece about Rudolph, the emergency management reindeer. But it's a little bit true, right? And there's a part of it where people don't know what we do. When you say, what do you do as an emergency manager, and you try to go technical on them, it's kind of glosses over them, and they'll go, oh, is it like FEMA? I embrace that. I say, yeah, it's like FEMA, but for the local government. They understand what that means. Well, to an extent. We have to do a better job of educating the public on what emergency management is. and use an organization like the International Association of Emergency Managers and here us at the Region 9 to be able to help educate the public. And when I mean the public, I'm not just talking about the everyday citizen. I'm talking about your elected officials who not even sure what emergency management is at times. We can use these programs to make our profession better. And so as we come to a close for 2023, I want to give you a New Year's resolution as an organization. I want to give you a New Year's resolution as emergency managers. Let's resolute to be stronger. Is that the word, resolute? Let's resolute to be stronger. Let's resolute to be resolve, I suppose. Resolution, resolute. Yeah, I think it's resolute, right? To look forward and to make this profession better. To educate the public on what we do as emergency managers. To educate new emergency managers coming up on the ways of why we've done things in the past. And to also be open enough to when the why questions are asked, we look at those programs and processes with a new eye, with the eye of a child, if you will, right? And what I mean by that is someone who is learning, someone who wants to absorb new information, right? And take a look at this and say, hey, why are we doing these things this way? And don't look at this as being challenged by the new people coming up behind us, right? Look at this as a way to say, hey, how do we absorb? How do we observe and how we learn? As we do this with non-judgmental curiosity. This is what we should be doing. And that is what I'm resolving for. My resolution for 2024 is to really look at new, practice the old, and learn how we can do things better and how we can make this profession even better than it is today. I want to thank you all again for putting your trust in me to being your president for at least another year. And I will promise you this much, is that I will fight hard to make sure that Region 9 is heard, that Region 9 has skin in the game, if you will, and that we definitely will make things better. So until next time, I'm going to turn it back over to Jenny. Oh, you're muted, Jen.
Muted. We've come 3 years into this technology and I'm still muting myself. But it's all good. But thank you, Todd, for that lovely message for 2024 for all of our emergency management community, for all of IAEM. I always stumble upon all those vowels. But I want to thank you all for being part of our IAEM Region 9 Region Talks podcast today, the last one of the 2023 season. So looking forward to the next ones, and I look forward to being part of it as well. So
I look forward to seeing some more of you out here on and bringing some great guests in and really moving this podcast on to the next level.
There you go. Here we go for 2024. Thank you, everyone.